For almost a month now, the controversy over NEET has rocked the country. The National Eligibility cum Entrance Test, undergraduate or NEET, formerly the All India Pre-Medical Test, is an Indian nationwide entrance examination conducted by the National Testing Agency for admission in undergraduate medical programs. NEET was previously called the All India Pre-Medical Test. It is the qualifying test for MBBS and BDS programs in Indian medical and dental colleges. It was introduced in 2013 by the Central Board of Secondary Education and is now conducted by the National Testing Agency. But it has been in news for all the wrong reasons. So what really is the problem here? What is the paper leak scam? How did so many toppers emerge in the exams this time around? What is the big Bihar link to all of this? How is the opposition raising this issue in Parliament? What is the crisis that India is facing vis-a-vis students qualifying for medicine, and how is that just so many students are not wanting to study medicine in India and are choosing to travel abroad for this? Why is India not a lucrative destination anymore? And what does it take to be a doctor in India? Health 360 is answering all that this week in our special broadcast. I'm Sneha Murdani. NEET or National Eligibility cum Entrance Test is in news for the wrong reasons. With lives of lakhs of students at stake, let's do a deep dive into NEET and what it actually is. Well, NEET is a single-level national exam carried out for medical aspirants across the country, enabling them to seek admission to medical courses in all medical institutions of India. The National Testing Agency, or the NTA, is in charge of conducting the exam, a role that was previously held by the Central Board of School Education, or CBSE. This year, over 24 lakh students sat for the exam on the 5th of May at 4,750 centres across the country. It was on the 4th of June, 10 days ahead of schedule, that NTA announced the result, and that is when all hell broke loose.
चाहिए रीनीट चाहिए हमें।
जो बच्चे पढ़ रहे हैं उनका कोई मायना ही नहीं है क्या? मतलब एनटीए को बंद करना चाहिए। हमको तो जस्टिस चाहिए, आप लोग कुछ तो भी कर लो, हमको जस्टिस चाहिए, हमको रीनीट चाहिए।
The controversy is over several issues, including awarding of grace marks to more than 1,500 students, an unusually high number of students scoring full marks, and allegations that the question paper was leaked. Controversy number 1. Arbitrary grace marks. Compensatory marks were awarded to 1,564 candidates due to loss of exam time. The NTA said it used a normalization formula on the grounds that these students were not allowed the full period of 3.2 hours to write the exam due to some technical problems. The NTA further went on to say it followed the same normalization formula that had been approved by the Supreme Court in CLAT exams in 2018 when a similar situation arose. However, these grace marks were later withdrawn. These 1,564 students were notified of their actual scores, excluding the grace marks, and were given the option to appear for a retest. Now, only 813 of the 52% students turned up for the re-examination. For the others who opted out of the retest, the previous marks without the grace marks will be used for the results. Controversy number 2, the perfect scores. Well, as many as 67 students received a perfect score of 720. Compare that to 2 students with full marks in the year 2023, just 3 in 2022, 2 again in 2021, 1 in 2020. 6 of the candidates who secured the top rank wrote the exam from the same centre in the state of Haryana, leading to many allegations of discrepancies there. Controversy number 3. unusually high scores. Further, some students were awarded marks of 718, 719, which critics say are mathematically impossible because of NEET's marking scheme. Each question carries 4 marks and there is negative marking for wrong answers. Petitions filed in the Supreme Court call these marks statistically impossible. Controversy number 4. Paper leak. NEET paper leak allegations are proving to be correct, with a big racket being busted in Bihar. With this case now taking a political turn, the centre has tasked the CBI to take over the investigation. Despite a raging controversy, the Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has ruled out cancelling the medical examination, citing lakhs of students who cleared the examination rightfully. Controversy number 5. Technical glitches. Several candidates also reported technical issues such as computer malfunctions, internet connectivity problems which disrupted their exam experience. Many allege that these issues created an uneven playing field, impacting their performance. So the NTA has denied any irregularities on their part. It's explained that the outstanding results were influenced by several factors. Higher number of students is one, an easy exam, questions with dual correct answers, and the allocation of grace marks for time lost during the exam. What has the government said so far? With students and parents up in arms, the government has notified a stringent law that aims to curtail malpractices and irregularities in competitive examinations. The Public Examinations Prevention of Unfair Means Act 2024 entails provisions for a maximum jail term of 10 years and a fine of up to 1 crore rupees for offenders. Moreover, the government has removed NTA Chief Subodh Kumar Singh and formed a 7-member panel led by former ISRO Chief R. Radhakrishnan to make recommendations on reforms in the examination process, improvements in data security protocols, and the structure and functioning of the NTA. With the Education Minister taking responsibility and assuring strict action, all eyes are now on the Supreme Court, which is currently in the process of hearing several pleas filed pertaining to NEET UG 2024 exam controversy. Students have travelled far and wide to appear for NEET. Some have put all their savings for coaching. Others have left their jobs to appear for the exams. Many say this is abject failure on the part of the government and that re-NEET is not fair. Others say re-NEET is the need of the hour. Aishwarya with this report on what the most affected in this fiasco the students are dealing with right now.
At least some minute respect for the professionals who work for it and who studied all this time, so that they are treated well, at least, making a mockery out of us as if, we have no other work to do as well.
I don't have a place to live anymore for the next month. I don't have and there's no certainty when the exam is going to happen. We are almost paying more than 1.5 lakhs to all the aspirants. We are paying that amount of money.
After outrage over grace marks, inflated scores and fears of paper leak, NEET controversy is getting messier day by day. While undergraduate students appeared for a re-exam recently, the entrance test for NEET postgraduates has been postponed. Amidst this chaos, many undergraduate and postgraduate aspirants are left in the lurch. Many of these aspirants have left their families and travelled to different cities to prepare for NEET, while many have sacrificed their existing jobs to become doctors. This is Dr. Sakshi, who has been preparing for NEET PG exam for a year now. She has left her home in Chhattisgarh 9 years back for MBBS and is now preparing for the NEET exam.
Even during my UG time, my drop year, including all the MBBS years, I have stayed away from my home since like 8 to 9 years. And this time I thought I'll join some hospital and then I'll support my family financially. I'll be there. It will be a mental peace for me and my family.
Sakshi was one of those who left her job a year back so that she could prepare for NEET PG. She was planning to spend some quality time with her parents after the exams, but now Her future is uncertain.
I took the decision that NEET PG is also important, so I decided to leave the job. I had many good job opportunities even at my place with good amount of salary, but I decided to leave the job. I decided to pursue my PG, and to prepare for PG I came here, I joined a coaching institute and I took a rental room, and at that time everything was planned according to 3rd March. So my plan was to stay here till 3rd March, and by the end of March to go back to my place, to join a hospital and to stay with my family and to support them financially, which was completely vanished because of the whole postponement thing.
Her friends have faced much worse.
One of my UG batchmate, he lost his father last year, and he is now the only earning person of his family, and he was going through a lot of financial burden, so he had to take loan for purchasing all the coaching apps and to prepare for exam, as well as at the same time he also had to earn for his family. So it was a huge burden for him, because the coaching apps, they all have a time limit. After that they all get expired. So if you want to continue, you have to buy them one more time again.
Dr. Selvin Tom from Delhi State Cancer Institute also has a similar story. The mental stress that he and his colleagues are going through can only be resolved by the government now.
PG NEET is what we were, aspiring for, right? So, that is like this postponement happened. Like this was the 3rd postponement, I guess, because first it was to be scheduled in March, and then they postponed it to July. Then they preponed it to June, and then the night before the exam they postponed it again. So we still haven't got any dates, and again I'm hoping they won't even ask us to get newer centers. So again the travel is still going to be there, back and forth, and the stay is going to be there, and the pressure, the anxiety, the stress disorder, the hair loss will be there, I guess. It's irritating to an extent. It's irritating and tiresome, very much tiresome, and mental stress is too much, where you have to answer the questions to your family as well. As a grown man, you have responsibilities towards family.
Selvin travelled to Bhatinda for training and spent more than 50,000 rupees for it. The anger and frustration is just growing.
Nowadays we take online classes, and online classes are not cheap. We usually spend around, discounts applied, around 50,000 for coaching for a year, 50 to 60. That goes, it's based on subscription. And then again you spend money for rapid revisions or test series, where you go to that coaching institute and just give test series. You do that as well, and and traveling included, I would say it has been around 80,000 now. Since I got a center in Bhatinda, and it's very far from Delhi, so I had to travel there, stay there one day prior. It cost me around 80,000 altogether, 80 to 85,000, I would say.
The future of these NEET aspirants now seems to be in darkness amidst the NEET controversy. These doctors who wanted to serve the society are now struggling with uncertainty. Is there light at the end of the tunnel? With camera person Manish Jha, Aishwarya Radhakrishnan for India Today.